Hi, my name is Taryn Carlley and I'm applying for the Find a Way scholarship. I'm just going to get into it so I don't waste any time. For the first photo submitted, this was my boyfriend and he previously had blue hair but he wanted to go neon green. So I had to figure out how to formulate properly to remove the blue pigments before adding the green. After I got him to the desired level 10, we applied the neon green direct dye, and in my opinion this was one of my best color corrective jobs, and I just am so happy with how vibrant the color turned out. The second photo, due to observing my classmates experimenting with Miss Barbara, the mannequin, I learned that she can't really be lightened more than the level she's already at, so I kind of had to work with that, especially with wanting to experiment with a prism technique and do more vivid colors. So I definitely had to work around her starting level and formulate properly. I believe this turned out very well, especially for mannequin hair, and I'm very excited to continue learning and experimenting with vivid techniques and perfecting my skills. The third photo I submitted was actually a fellow hairdresser that I went to school with, and she was extremely tedious with how she wanted her color to look. So I had to make sure I thoroughly communicated with her about the formulas and placements that I was going to do. Though it was very nerve-wracking working on another stylist, I performed the color exactly how she wanted, and we were both very pleased. Tell us about a time that you exhibited a find-a-way attitude where you had to think outside the box and solve a problem or achieve a goal. When I first got to school, my instructors were introducing themselves, and one of them used the term kitchen beautician, and I think that's a perfect term for what I had done previously. So before going to school, I had been performing hair services for roughly 5 years, so I feel like I've kind of seen the worst of the worst, Throughout my years as a kitchen beautician, I have come across many situations where I had to have a find-a-way attitude and work through the struggles. Even before I had proper chemical education, I would use my knowledge I'd picked up along the way to figure out the best course of action. One instance in particular that comes to mind was a situation when I was doing my boyfriend and I's hair. We both had pink and black stripes and we wanted to go split dye, black and blonde. That was a real struggle to try and work around the box dye and keep the integrity of our hair intact. After lighting the first time, I could tell we wouldn't lift to the desired level that we needed. So I made the hard decision to extend this process over a 2-week period to keep the integrity of our hair. In the end, that decision was the reason we were both able to have our end result. That is just one example where I had to think on my feet and have a find-a-way attitude. My experiences before being behind the chair has allowed me to stay calm in a scenario where my plan is thrown off track. Tell us why having a find-a-way attitude will help advance your cosmetology career. As I mentioned above, some of the bad experience I had when I was a kitchen beautician has allowed me to learn how to remain calm and professional when my plan goes off track. I will admit I was not always very good at that and I had some freak out moments, but those experiences are what make me a good professional today. Thank you for considering me. I hope to hear from you guys soon. Thank you.